In the crash site where that plane hit at the Pentagon in Washington. Let's go there now. Bob?
Well, Leon, I'm outside, of course, overlooking the place where the plane collided, but CNN producer Chris Platt is inside. He reports that the Pentagon is being evacuated. Of course, they wanted to open it for business this morning, the parts that were considered safe. But Chris Platt says it's being evacuated because of the danger of a spreading fire. We reported a while ago that the fire had spread from over there to other parts of the building and, in fact, had reached the inner ring. So for the second day in a row, the Pentagon is being evacuated. To give you some idea of just how tense it is here, something happened about 10 minutes ago. About 10 minutes ago, a police loudspeaker went off in this area. "Get out of the area," said this person on the loudspeaker. Incoming plane, get out of the area." Well, all of us, of course, the camera crews, all of them pointed their cameras skyward, everybody looking to see evidence of this. About 2 minutes later, the police voice came on again and said, "Never mind, it was a friendly." So they are being so very, very careful and sometimes tense, and sometimes, as a matter of fact, they overreact, but of course their concern would be much greater if they underreacted. And we've also seen evidence just in the last few minutes of how intensely the FBI plans to live up to its promise to investigate. We saw just a couple of minutes ago FBI agents fan out in the little grassy area right in back of me, fan out looking for whatever tiny pieces of evidence they could find in the grass, trying to, in fact, live up to the promise that they've made that they're going to investigate this very thoroughly, and of course to make sure they did it in an area that cameras could see so the message could be delivered to the rest of the world. Leon?
Well, Bob, let me get back to you. You're saying that the Pentagon's being evacuated right now because it's concerned about spreading fire and causing more damage. What is the latest right now on the extent of the damage inside the building? And do you know how many people were actually back at work in the building today?
Well, no, but we had been told that it would at most only be about half of the workforce. What we have been hearing is that the fire has been spreading through the roofs. It has made it to the inner ring, and according to Chris Platt, that fact has caused them to decide that they want to, in fact, get people out of the building now because it is becoming unsafe.
All right. Bob, can we give us an idea right now of which side of the building you're on and which side is perhaps is the biggest, I guess, looking at the biggest threat right now from this fire? Any idea on that?
Well, right now the biggest threat continues to be the side where the airplane collided. You can see, of course, right over there where it crashed into the building yesterday morning. It crashed into the building, and there is a concern that there's going to be a collapse, particularly of that area. And as a result, the people who have been searching for some of the casualties have been very, very careful about going on. There's an ongoing debate about whether they need to just collapse that part of the building or whether they want to try and shore it up and make it safe. However, the other side of the building is where many of the top officials of the Pentagon are located, and the fire has continued to spread, sometimes through the roof, but it has gotten to the inner ring, and it has become a bit of a threat. The secretaries of the Army and the Navy, as a matter of fact, were moved from their offices on that side of the building and went down to the basement. The evacuation is just a precautionary measure, but the fire is not under control.
All right, understood. We'll let you get back to covering that. Bob Franken by the Pentagon in Washington. We'll check back with you later on. In the meantime, let's go over to Dan.